Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome everyone to the Town of Monroe Board meeting on Monday, May 16th, 2022. If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and just remain standing after the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd just like to have a moment of silence. Our supervising head bus driver's wife, Esculo, passed away. She's been involved in the community for 32 years as a bus driver. She's been involved with our Ladies Auxiliary at the Harriman Engine Company, and she was just a spectacular woman and a sweetheart, and it was one of the saddest funerals that we got to deal with as residents in Monroe. So we have a moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion to open up today's meeting?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Hold on.
Pardon, aye.
You did not.
Okay, so moved. All right, the first item up in community announcements is the free movie showing for veterans. It's going to be Top Gun. It will be on Tuesday, May 31st. There will be two showings. One is at 2 o'clock, one is at 6 o'clock. It's free to all veterans. It's going to be at the flagship premium cinemas in Monroe on 34 Milltown Parkway. Just want to read a quote from County Executive Newhouse. The county coordinated event with flagship cinemas, ShopRite supermarkets, and the Town of Monroe Board. We look forward to hosting this event, which provides Orange County veterans with an opportunity to come together, enjoy a great movie, and share some of their experiences. I want to thank everyone who has collaborated to organize this wonderful event. The last two times we did this, we had sellouts for both showings. And it's great that we're able to acknowledge our veterans by offering them these movies. Okay, just a little recap. We had the opening of our dog park this weekend, yesterday. Noah Siqueiros, who was the Eagle Scout. He's not an Eagle Scout, so he's an Eagle Scout, a potential Eagle Scout. What's that?
Eagle Scout candidate.
Eagle Scout candidate. Did a phenomenal job with this. He was acknowledged yesterday. We had a ribbon cutting ceremony. There was over 70 people there. I think there was 14 dogs. There was one pony. It was a great thing. It looked like it should have been in the Kentucky Derby the prior week. But yeah, it was very nice. But it was, this kid was absolutely phenomenal. And I'll let Mike McGinn comment on it because, Mike, what would you say yesterday?
He said that kid's gonna be a billionaire.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I mean, he's just an unbelievable kid, and as Amory Morris says, he pivoted so many times to overcome obstacles to get it done. Our highway department actually commented on who did the fencing, and it was actually him with his volunteers. So it was just an incredible project. I just said so. It was awesome, and we're real happy for him.
Way mature beyond his years.
That speech he gave was incredible.
Yeah.
He acknowledged, from A to Z.
Acknowledged
He
everything.
did an incredible job.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant young, he's got a great future.
Yes.
Attending Ford in the fall.
Yes.
Making up basically his own major for the most part, so,
I
Yeah.
can see him sitting in your seats someday.
Oh, my God.
oh.
Thanks, Sal. Thanks.
He'll do way better than that. Crazy.
No, but yeah, he would make a great supervisor.
Yeah, very creative.
Yeah. And in reference to Noah, we need to just changed the date of his Eagle Scout ceremony. It was originally slated for 6/12/2022, and it's been changed to Friday, July 8th, 2022. So I'd like to make a motion that we make that change and approve the use of the building on the 8th of July.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Ingram, aye. Full aye.
Cardone, aye.
Stanko, aye.
Good night.
Okay, one other thing I want to approve before we forget to do it, because there's an importance here. So BJ's has been coming before the planning board, and because of one of the planning board members having to recuse themselves since they were a former BJ's employee, I've reached out to numerous people, and we finally have an alternate who will sit in just on that application. And that alternate is Steve Daw, who is actually one of our zoning board members. And Steve didn't hesitate when he was asked, and Steve has always stepped up to make sure that anything he can do to help better the town is done. So I'd like to appoint Steve as an alternate to, and Don, just correct me if I'm misspeaking here. We want to appoint Steve as an alternate to the planning board to handle the BJ's application only, so that we can have a quorum for the applicant, because presently we have not for the last 4 months, I think. So, okay. So,
I'll second.
Second on that? Any other questions? Call the question.
Ingram, aye. Full aye.
Cardone, aye.
Stanko, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved. I will make a motion to open up the continuation of the public hearing in relation to increase and improvement of facilities of Water District Number 14.
Full second.
Call the question.
Ingram, aye. Full aye.
Cardone, aye.
Stanko, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved. Nothing new to be reported. I know that Mike spoke last month about the fact we didn't get the WIA grants associated with our water districts. So right now we're in a holding pattern, and we're going to be reapplying for the September round of WIA grants. I actually have a conversation set up for tomorrow with Lenny. So that said, I would like to, did anybody sign up to speak on that, Barb?
No.
No, okay. So what I would like to do is to make a motion to keep open the continuation of the public hearing for Water District Number 14 to be held at 7 p.m. or immediately thereafter on July 11th.
I'll make that motion. I'll second that motion.
Okay? Call the question.
Ingram, aye. Full aye.
Cardone, aye.
Stanko, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved. Okay, another is the, I'll make a motion to open the continuation of the public hearing in relation to the increase and improvement of facilities for Water District Number 8.
I'll second that.
Call the question.
Ingram, aye. Full aye.
Cardone, aye.
Stanko, aye.
Good night.
So moved. Similar situation here. There are some improvements that could actually work with the BJ's application pertaining to Water District Number 8. So I think that we will discuss that as we move along with that BJ's application, because we're losing a well there, and they have committed to do it and keeping it alive. So that was discussed over there.
Supervisor,
Sure.
in order to improve our chances to get the WIA grant, we might need to look to fund a hydrogeology report for that area. Just to, like I said, to improve our chances to show the EFC that we're really committed to this project. But we can discuss that in the future when I have a little more details.
That'd be great. Thank you for that information, Councilman. Okay. I'll make a motion to keep open the continuation of the public hearing in relation to the increase and improvement of facilities for Water District Number 8 on July 11th at 7 p.m. immediately thereafter.
Bingham second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cancarello, aye.
Good night.
So moved. Item 4.5, I will make a motion to open the continuation of the public hearing regarding proposed amendments to local law D-V1, amending chapter 57 zoning to amend special permit requirements applicable to hotels.
Bingham second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cancarello, aye.
Good night.
So moved. Anything to add, Councilman McGinn?
So I see we got the response back from the county. They had no negative comments. So that being said, I think we can, I guess we'll speak to council here. We're going to close the public hearing, leave it open for public comment for 10 days, and then vote on it at the next meeting. How's that sound? Does that sound good? All right, so I'll make that motion. There's nobody signed up for that, or?
No.
All right, thanks, Bob, sorry, got to check with you first. Yeah, let's, we'll 6/6, next meeting.
Okay,
That's what we'll want to document that.
I'll second that. So, any other discussion? Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cancarello, aye.
Good night.
So moved. Okay. Item 4.9 is the continuation for the public hearing for the proposed Arrow Park Water District. I'll make a motion to open up the continuation of that public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Scangarello. Call the question.
Bingham,
Cardone, aye.
Cancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay. So Arrow Park was one of the districts we did apply for with the WEA grants. So we're gonna go try that again in the September round. I actually am still waiting for the review after the Millennium Circle back with the state on it. So hopefully I will get an update on that tomorrow. So that said, anybody sign up to speak for?
No.
No? Okay. So I will make a motion to keep open the continuation of that public hearing for the proposed Arrow Park Water District at 7 p.m. or later thereafter on August 15th.
I will second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay. Next up is item 4.11, which is to set a public hearing for the rental registry. I have a boilerplate I will be sending out to you that was prepared by Brian Nugent, and we will hopefully get this in order, I would say, by the end of the summer. So I would like to set that public hearing, because I would like everybody to review it for June 21st at 7 p.m. or immediately thereafter.
I'll second that.
Okay? Any other discussion? Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay. Item 5.1 is the acceptance of the May 2nd minutes.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Alterations, changes, adjustments. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cardone will abstain, I was not here.
Cancarello, aye.
Good night.
So moved. Okay. Up to the general fund abstract, item 6.1. I'll make a motion that the town board of the town of Monroe requests approval of abstract 22-09 of the general fund containing checks 28542 through 28614, totaling $255,830.86.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay. Item 6.2 is the escrow fund abstract. I'll make a motion to approve the abstract number 22-03 escrow account containing checks 2018 through 2028, totaling $35,742.24.
I'll second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cancarello, aye.
Good night.
Okay. Item 7.1, the Highway Department has asked for approval of a budgetary transfer in the amount of $1,500 from account DB 5110-4103, which is general repair tools and tool rental, to account DB 5110-2000, general repairs equipment. I'll make a motion to approve that transfer of $1,500.
Bingham to second.
All the question?
Bingham, aye.
All aye.
Cardone, aye.
Stankerville, aye.
So moved. Next item up is another budgetary transfer. That's a tax collector budgetary transfer request in the amount of $25 from account A 000-1330-4102-00, which is a tax collector tax roll bill preparation. And that transfer would be to account A 000-1380-4189-00, which is the tax collector education dues and meeting.
I'll second.
Call the question?
Bingham, aye.
All aye.
Cardone, aye.
Stankerville, aye.
King, aye. Okay. Next up is new business. Item 8.1, which is the Rye Hill Preserve. Gentlemen?
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor and town board members, Jeffrey Russ, counsel for Sunbrook Partners. And I believe we supplied everyone on or about April 22nd with an updated set of plans and drawings, hoping to get some feedback and comment from everybody. And we're here tonight. We'd like to also set a schedule to get it referred to the planning board so we can get some more detailed analysis with them with it. And I'm prepared to respond or answer any questions you might have to that, or to discuss anything we put in there.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to summarize what we put in, but I'd rather respond to the question.
All right, so thank you for Mr. Buss, of course, and your team. Our town professionals, mostly the attorney and the planner, there are a few issues that they are still looking at regarding the submission. And we had a sidebar before the meeting. We're going to schedule a Zoom meeting between myself and the planner, the attorney, and your team here, so we can hammer out those finer details and get to the point where we can hopefully submit it at the next meeting, which will be June 6th. So just a little patience, and we will we'll work through those items and get to that point where we can finally refer to the planning board for the 60-day review period, maybe quicker. And when we get that back, depending on the response from the planning board, we at that time will land the zoning and start the site plan approval process. Move forward.
Okay, 2 points. One is I have a timing issue, which it's my problem, not yours, but I have an option to buy this property with a seller who is not overly flexible on that, and to get an extension, a very short one, at a very expensive price, may not work for me, and my closing or option date expires in September. So if we come back June 6th, and even then if you refer to the planning board, they have 60 days, that's August 6th. I couldn't possibly line up everything that I would need to do a closing in like 30 days probably, so that's a potential issue for me. Secondly, we do want to work and try to make this happen. So if there are comments and suggestions and they make economic sense from our point of view, we're more than willing to make those. I just need to know what they are, and if I could ask to have things expedited. And I know that's really the planning board, not necessarily this board, but if we could get to them quickly and get comments back from them, I would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think by having this next Zoom meeting, we'll kind of, the more that we can work out now, prior to going to the planning board, we'll hopefully expedite it on that end, because we'll take care of some of the issues that might arise for that body, you know? So we'll get this moving and look towards the 6th to get moved out to first to the planning board.
Okay, great.
I mean, we're just took a little longer. There's obviously a lot of material to review there. So we're
Okay,
almost there.
great, thank you.
I know you have deadlines, and we're trying to assist you getting there with that. So,
Okay, I got it. Anything else?
The only comment I have is I noticed you improved the building height, but still, one, you would need some type of a variance. It's 53 feet.
We need either variance or a text amendment, which is what we were talking about with Mr. Nugent, 53 feet. And some of the additional material we provided to you included a visual impact statement, and there are 2 separate drawings there. One simply shows where you're standing, and there's like a red dot with a red line and an arrow showing, either Orange Turnpike or Crestwood, and we have 6 different viewpoints. The next drawing kind of shows, what you would see if you were standing in the backyard of one of those properties, and what you would see if you were on the second floor of one of those properties. And then we also had the architect, I don't think he gave you this, but he prepared drawings to show you what those apartment buildings look like from the back, from that side, okay? And then he had a bit of a problem with it, but there's a drawing showing what it would look like if you had 50-foot trees or 40-foot trees in front of you, which is generally what they average on Crestwood. And it's a drawing basically showing trees. So we have both the trees and the actual building, and you can see if you were standing on our property, hopefully our property.
it'd be great to see those. I mean, not to see them, but it'd be great to see those. I mean,
We have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's like a view from me to you, not a side view, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, because the engineering drawings can show you, they were like dotted lines showing, perspectives, but, so Barry.
Barry Carrick, architect. So it's a view from essentially Crestwick, the backyard of Crestwick. The trees average between 40 and 50 feet tall. So I have 2 drawings here. So I got in trouble for doing this during one of my school presentations. I was a little late working on the project, so there were a lot of trees that covered up. And it looked a lot like this, but this is factual,
And that
this is from Crestwick.
from Prestwick looking at.
Yeah, there's elevation change and there's real tree heights that are
Wait,
very
could you
close.
just show that to the camera too?
It looks like there's a bullet I'm dodging here, but this is really what it is.
Okay.
So in order to see that, those trees, where do you need to be standing?
You could be the difference is fairly negligible. If they're standing on Crestwood, on the road, you could be in the backyards of those houses, but that doesn't appreciably change your perspective.
So you don't need to be right up on top of those trees in
No,
order to
it's
see
from
them.
those neighbors.
So that would basically be Prestwick's view from.
Right, from
From
Crestwood.
like a patio in the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is.
Yeah, now of course, it's a little different, but this is
Yeah.
essentially what it is.
And it's not a winter view, obviously.
No.
Right.
And this is,
Yeah,
sorry, show the camera. This is what it would look like if there weren't trees, if you wanted to see,
yeah, if it was more sparse.
what the building looks like from that perspective. Just turn it so.
As a perspective that this is on location is accurate, I know I think so.
Okay, so that's just hypothetical.
Correct. That's what, maybe more winter shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we also redid the recreation area. We kind of drew in like where we'd like to see things put for that, with 2 fields.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. One suggestion I have with that
Yes.
is if we can flip the road, if you're coming in from you, the road is here and all the facilities are here. And the reason I say that is the view from the fields is this way. So I think if the road was behind it, that needs to be a more palatable view than having to look at cars. Got it?
Yeah, I mean, it just might require a little bit of a shift over of everything that's there, but it's not, you know, it's same distance of
Yeah,
road,
same
same length of road, so it's not, you know,
Yeah.
I think it's pretty doable, it's not gonna be near the wetlands. I think it's a pretty, and it's more aesthetics if you're on the fields that you're looking, you know, your vantage point is, you're seeing everything as opposed to acquiring on the view. Probably the nicest part of that
And then-
portion
and then-
from a recreation standpoint.
And then one other thing, if it has to be speed bumps, it'll be speed bumps. But if there's a way you can make that road a little windy instead of a straight run, only because you know what happens with straight roads, you know, it's.
Get some spike strips out there.
Make sure you got it.
You got some playing around.
Any other questions?
It's about 400 feet from one of the houses' backyard, so to speak, to your proposed townhouses, I believe it is. It's 400 feet, it's not like you've exceeded the buffers, right?
Well, I think the buffer is 50 feet.
50
Yeah,
feet,
nothing
right.
Closer than 77 feet, if my memory is correct. But I'm not sure if you're talking about the townhouses, or probably a little bit further back than the apartment.
It might be the apartment companies, right?
What's the closest distance, right, to the apartment, is it 100, 115?
But that's the property.
From the
To
property?
the property,
100 what?
115.
115.
okay. And the retaining walls are still 15 feet high, or what's the height of the retaining walls?
Yes. Yes.
Will there be landscaping to camouflage the,
Yes. We want to make it look attractive. We want to have something that people want to move and live there. We don't want to just put up a big, massive, ugly structure that they won't sell, to be honest with you. So,
Talking to the mic, please. Talking to the microphone. Would you-
okay, thank you.
You can raise it up.
There you go.
Mr. Foster, one last question. And it's more for Barry, but is it possible to do a rendering like similar to those, or what it would look like from Orange Turnpike, say in the vicinity of like Hawkshurst or like Mansion Bridge, you know, street level, looking towards where the apartments are?
Sure.
Something,
And then Mikey said yes.
okay. No, I,
Yes.
okay, yeah, that'd be great, because I think that's also a concern. If you want to see how that's going to impact people who live on Orange Turnpike, there's a series of houses there, and then there's also, you know, you have Hawkshurst. Now, Hawkshurst looks pretty, I mean, that's pretty far away from the structures, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I really want to see what it looks like in that vicinity. And I think that would be something that would kind of, when it goes to the planning board, it would be real helpful to have that visual.
So probably from, sorry. So, assume we'd like to choose a location where the building's closest to Orange Turnpike.
Right. That'd be perfect.
Sure. I can do that.
Thank you.
Okay, so if I could ask, maybe we can have that Zoom meeting this week, because I know we've got a holiday weekend between now and the next planning board meeting, so we need a little bit of time to respond to whatever else it is that you may require, and we look forward to doing it.
Okay. I'll,
If you coordinate that with Councilman McGinn and Brian Nugent, and I'll do whatever I have to do to be there.
Okay, thank you very much.
I don't have as busy a schedule as Councilman McGinn. He's, you know. No, seriously. The next 2 weeks he's overwhelmed with.
so we
With
move
water commencement, and so I would not personally want to be in his shoes, because
we won't schedule it during your drive time radio show. You know, we know you pull in big ratings for WTVQ, and we don't want to. So, but I'll get that email out tomorrow.
Great,
We'll
thank
get
you very much.
that squared away by the end of the week.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I just want to ask, Carol, did you have any questions that you wanted to ask tonight? I know this isn't a public hearing, but Carol, this is Carol Hawkshurst Road, so.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah. If you could just come up here, please.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
As far as questions, I mean, of course, I'm concerned. I am the one house that, it's the first house off of Orange Turnpike on Hawkshurst Road. And I know from what I hear, there's gonna be a road through there, and I know for years there was the idea of a road going through there. I just, as was asked, and I appreciate that question of like, where is the picture, I'd like to see that as well, just so I have an idea of, you know, of where the town, assuming townhomes are gonna be in first by Crestwick, and then it's going around to apartments, garden apartments, is that the way it's going?
Yeah, I'm leaning over this way to the mic because I know this is a public record, but we have drawings right here that I think would show you exactly where that is, and then, you know, we can address, if you want to talk about your questions, I'm not running out of here.
Okay, absolutely.
All right, good. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, and Carol, just for, I mean, so this will be, there'll be, there'll be public hearings on this, there'll be plenty
There'll be
of
no
official
people will know.
time, yeah, exactly, so, but it's great that they make that
Just the
available to you.
introduction, I knew this was, I knew there was ideas,
Yeah.
like I said, for years, that,
Yeah, I know,
proposal of the
right
road
over
goes-
Rydell too, I knew.
Yeah,
So,
eventually.
and listen, I think, speaking, I think this is probably the best option we could really hope for, especially with the conservation easement, leaving a lot of that land open, and
Yeah,
I think
there's
it's
a lot of
probably what a lot of
wetlands there.
scope for, instead of cookie cutter bi-levels going up and over the top and through, so,
Sure.
or whatever
I
else.
think
was-
it's good, that's something different, bring in maybe a younger crowd too
Yeah.
for the townhomes, so.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Carol, you saying we're old?
What's that? Say that.
Point no whistle.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, thanks, gentlemen.
Okay. Next up is item 8.2, which is a request submitted by Town Clerk Valerie Bitzer to attend the June 2022 Grow Conference in Albany from June 12th to June 14th. Hotel costs and food costs will total $589.60 for 2 nights, and obviously I said that includes meals. There's also a conference registration of $30. So I would like to make a motion to approve the spending of that, and I would say let's just put a cap on it at $650.
I'll second that motion.
Call the question.
Don't think the second, or who made the motion?
I did.
Okay, so
One
Bing,
second, right?
You want a second discussion, or?
Go ahead. All right, so Mike made the motion, you're seconding it.
All right, I'll make the motion.
Bingham to second, and then Bingham aye.
Oh, aye.
Cardona, Canco, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved. All right, item 8.3, Water District 12 Wellhouse Improvements Project Closeout. Councilwoman Bingham.
Okay, the first thing on that is we have to approve a change order that Louis Hauser Edsel drew up for TM Brennan. It, when the project was originally proposed, we thought the contract price was going to be $107,000. But there were some changes. They didn't have to do certain kinds of work, or it needed some type of equipment. So the final contract price ended up being $98,779.58. So I'd like to make a motion that we approve this change order from Gooey Hauser Edsel. It's number 2, and it's for as I said, it's from $107,000 reduced to $98,779.58.
I'll second that.
Okay, Bingham, aye? Aye.
Cardona, aye. Canco, aye.
Good night.
So moved. Item 8.4, which is,
We still have to release the money for TM Brennan.
oh, okay.
So I'm just pulling that up. They're looking for a final payment. There's a voucher they submitted for $18,979.58.
Okay. And that's signed off by MHE?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Okay. Councilwoman Bingham made the motion. Councilman McCann seconded the motion. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Well, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Pinkerell, aye.
Denied.
Okay, so moved. All right, item 8.4 is the MHE task order regarding the dry weather outfall reviews.
Right, that was actually, it's part of the MS4 requirement. I believe it's every 5 years. As part of that requirement, you have to go and check every outfall. So highway will go out with Magui Hauser Edsel, someone from their firm, and they will actually survey the entire town. So let's see, I'm just trying to, that is for $10,000. So I'll make a motion that we approve $10,000 for task order number 22-06, dry weather outfall review.
All the second.
Some discussion on that. Okay, so I was out with Brett from MHE last week. There's a need that we need to keep better records going forward for any maintenance agreements that we have with some of these outfalls. So for example, right now we're in the process of trying to research, there's an outfall on Cromwell Commons, which probably needs to be dredged. It caused a flood over there last time. So we're just waiting to see, Noreen was looking through the old records, I think today. And the Cromwell Commons Board was looking through their records to see if there was anything in the approvals that pertained to a maintenance agreement on the outfalls, because it's on their property, it's not on ours. So that was number one. Number two is we presently have a situation, which is the reason I went out with Brett on Friday. There's a salt shed that the village of KJ constructed on property which is along Route 17M and Monroe Road. Now, originally there was discussion, no approvals, between Councilman McGinn, myself, and Gedalia Sagan. And then all of a sudden the salt shed popped up. So the village's well number, I think it's 11, is very close to there. And the depth of the well, I think, is only 47 feet.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a schematic, and it's a gravel pit well. So the stream that flows from where that salt shed and the remnants of salt drains from that area right past that well. So Brent is going to issue a report on that particular area, because there's the, what's the, Mary, where's the,
Drinking source
Stakeholders.
water protection plan.
right, okay, so there's a critical area, which I know you had missed the last meeting, and I missed the one before that, but we talked about a critical area over there, and that salt shed is just outside the critical area. And that's because the engineers that were preparing that report with the critical area had no clue that salt shed was there. So that's something that we're gonna have to really take a hard look at, work on it, so that we don't, or I should say we, so that the village's water is protected.
And I believe our building inspector was already involved with that as well.
Yes.
Going back months ago.
Yeah. So that said, I'll call the question unless anybody has something else to add. No? Okay. We call the question.
Bingham, aye.
All aye.
Cardone, aye.
Pinkerell, aye.
McGinn,
Okay.
And then the second part of that is we are also preparing drainage district map, because we don't have an overall one for the town. We might have an individual one for like drainage district number 7 is like Hilltop. But we needed an overall map. And again, this would tie in nicely with the MS4 as well.
Yeah.
And the maintenance agreements and things like that. So I'll be making some time to meet with Barbara and Val to look through some of the town records to see if we can find a little bit more information. So this is actually going to be a draft drainage district map, and it would be task order 22-05 for $1,800. It might need to be revised, but I already spoke to Sean over at McGooey Hauser-Etzel. Depending on the number of parcels, the cost may go up, but for right now, we have to get this started, so it would be $1,800. I'll make a motion to have task order number 22-05 for $1,800 for a Town of Monroe overall drainage district map.
I'll second that. Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Full aye.
Cardone, aye. Cancarella, aye.
You know,
So moved. Okay. Next up is the town E-code regarding tree preservation. So what I would like everybody to do, I've had some discussion with Chairwoman Franson, Bonnie Franson, on this. There's a situation currently before the planning board where there is a two-lot subdivision. The two-lot subdivision is within, from what I understand, all the parameters to get to essentially be divided into two lots. The issue becomes there are a lot of smaller trees on the property, and it is creating an extreme hardship for the individual based on the tree code. So after some discussion with Bonnie Franson and the actual owner, Bonnie thought, I was going to say, of kind of coming to an agreement where it wasn't such a hardship on the owners who have, let's say the number is 3 lots or less. Because just to clear out the envelope for the house, I think the number was like they would have had to either pay or replace $30,000 to $40,000 worth of trees based on our code. I think it's $750 a tree. Now, if the lot is totally treed and he cuts down the envelope where the house is being built, where are you going to plant the trees? It didn't seem fair to me, and I just would like, we're just discussing this tonight, so I would just like everybody to take a good read on this, and then we can come back next meeting and possibly come up with some sort of alternative to it.
Supervisor, has the Conservation Commission also been informed of this?
No, but Ward is now. I will send Joe Corona this and let him know about it. Any other questions? Okay. All right, next item up is 8.6, which is the Town of Monroe landfill annual post-closure monitoring. And that, this year, is, I need someone to make a motion to, if you could read it, authorizing the supervisor to sign it. You want to read that? Yes, or if you read it.
Yeah.
oh, do we have it up there?
I do.
It's on your computer, or do you have
No,
oh, you have a paper?
I have a piece of paper with it on it.
Oh, I have it right here from Sterling. You got it?
I do, yes. So I'd like to make a motion authorizing the supervisor to sign the proposal submitted by Sterling Environmental Engineering to conduct the annual Town of Monroe landfill post-closure monitoring PCM program. The annual site inspection and PCM event is scheduled to be performed in June of 2022. The total cost estimate is $9,500. And there's a note here that there's a potential that it could be decreased by a little bit. So,
Well, yeah, the actual cost from last year went down $300.
oh, so this is a,
Yeah, so it was $9,800 last year, yeah. So this year it's $9,500.
that's the problem.
Yeah, I was surprised too, but happy. $300 is $300. So we made that motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye.
Full aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cancarella, aye.
Good night.
Safe and move. Okay, item 8.7, I need someone to read that. Motion.
Resolution authorizing the supervisor to execute the license agreement for the town property located at 11 State Road with the town of Monroe as a licensor and the Monroe Woodbury Jewish Community Center as the licensee. And just wait for the rest of it to work.
So, the license term is 1 year commencing on June 1st through 2022, expiring on May 31st, 2023, with 2 optional 1-year extensions through May 31st, 2025.
Hold a second.
And just so everyone knows, the first year rent is $1,795. The second year rent is $1,900
Per month.
per month, thank you. And if they do enter into a third year, it's $2,000. So call the question then.
Name aye? All aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cankrell, aye.
Can I,
Okay, yeah. All right. Next up, item 9.1. It's a motion to approve the general code estimate to update town code to include local laws 1 through 4 for 2022. And that price is going to be between $1,950 and $2,395. So, and that would be obviously to the client care at general code. We have included in this quote, the cost for updating the code pertaining to the reduction of planning board members as well. So, you make that one, you want a second? You want to put a cap on it, spend up to
what was the top number?
$23.95?
So why don't we just make it 2,500?
Okay. So,
Inflation's in that.
yes. Motion made by Councilman McGinn.
That's the case, make it 10,000.
Yeah.
What do you think, it's diesel for?
Please, don't even get me started.
Councilman McGinn made a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye. All aye.
Cardone, aye.
Cankrell, aye.
Can I,
Okay, so moved. Okay, public comment.
Ward Brown.
Ward Brown. Thank you for being here, Ward.
My pleasure. Maybe not yours. Ward Brown,
Always is, always is.
private citizen and member of the Conservation Commission. On the Conservation Commission title, comes to my attention that news has been full of wars in Europe, gas prices going through the roof, food prices going, and this may have slipped our attention. But note in the trade magazines, this has become an issue, and that is, try to get this right here, highly pathogenic avian influenza. Some people call it bird flu. This is becoming a problem. In this nation, we have 30 states that have, the last year or so have had problems with this. New York is probably one of them. And the question is that we have actually 2 types of birds. We have those that are captive, such as in poultry places, and then we have these, like our friend the geese, Canada geese. And they present a problem, because this pathogen was first documented over a year ago in Europe. And it's starting to progress into this area here. And I know many people who have backyards with chickens, and a lot of them don't even realize what's going on. So try to get their information out. And the little warning signs, if you start to experience high numbers of deaths that you can't account for, and if your egg production drops off, those are the clues. Now the big commercial growers, they've already taken action on it. They've shut the public out. You can't go tour these big poultry places anymore. And if you do go there, you have to wear the hazmat suits. Your vehicles get decontaminated. So they know this is serious business. And we also have a problem here. And we know there are people that do this. They're good people, but feed the geese. That's not really what you want to be doing. In fact, the closer your human contacts come with these birds, there's always a possibility that this virus has jumped species and become a major problem. We've experienced that in the past. So, and the birds that transport this thing, not just the Canada goose, the mallard ducks, hawks, the blue heron, even some big crows, potentially many others. So if you see a dead bird in your backyard, be precaution. Sometimes it's a good idea to put surgical gloves on, put it in a plastic bag, and you can probably have it taken to either DEC or Department of Agriculture and Markets, same day. So just word to the people out there to be careful. And as we've experienced with this pandemic that's going on forever, these things get out of hand very quickly.
Yeah.
And on a private note, when I exit this parking lot out here, okay, and I'll make a right turn, and we have a fire hydrant. We have the metal, what are they called? Boggers. It needs reflectors on. You know, if you're coming trying to make that turn at night, visibility is poor, lights are seen, and you come there, and I've often got spooked. I say, that thing doesn't stand out. That thing should stand out. Because I hate to have anyone run into it.
I will contact the village, but that's under there.
Yeah, that's I'm looking at that for a couple of times, especially when we had that one meeting we had wasn't too far back. Visibility was very poor. I know the thing's actually, where is that thing?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Bad surprise.
Taste orders.
Hey, Ward, I have a question because I saw one last night. Do you know the number of bald eagles that are in the area? I had one flying around my house last night, probably for about 6 or 7 minutes.
No, I don't. It's not.
I know there's a couple on Round Lake, there's some in Mount Mesa, there's more.
There are citizens that used to contact, in fact,
Gary Aberdeen.
yes, I can name a couple of them. I don't want to put any names on the TV, but they're out there watching these, especially over on Bishop.
Yeah.
There are a lot of definite.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know the number, but.
No, I was just curious.
Yeah.
That happened yesterday.
And that's it.
All right, thank you again, Ward.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Ward, that's good information. Okay, we're gonna need to go into executive session to discuss legal matters and, there's two actually. And potential contract.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. All question?
Oh, aye.
Pardon, aye. Franklin, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved. All right. I'd like to make a motion to return to the town board meeting of Monday, 16th, and come out of executive session.
Oh, second.
Councilwoman Gould, seconded. Call the question.
Bingham, aye. Oh, aye.
Cardone, aye. Franklin, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved. Before we get to the executive session items, I skipped over item 4.7. So we're going to keep it open, but I'd like to make a motion to open up the continuation of the public hearing A-V1 to consider the adoption of local law to amend chapter 57 concerning the heavy industry zone.
Bingham to second.
Call the question.
Bingham, aye. Oh, aye.
Cardone, aye.
Canterbury, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved. Any other info on that?
No, I think we're just kind of waiting on,
No public comment, right?
No.
yeah, I think we're just kind of waiting on, we're waiting on that.
Max?
Max and also,
County.
no, not the county, we're waiting on clarification also, I think, from the, person that submitted the petition.
Oh, correct.
On certain items, yeah.
Okay. All right, so we will do this. Let's, I'll make a motion to keep open the continuation of the public hearing, A-B1, to consider the adoption of local law to amend chapter 57, concerning the heavy industry zone, to, let's go July 11th at 7 p.m. immediately thereafter. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilman Scagarello. Call the question.
Bingham, aye. All aye.
Cardone, aye.
Canterbury, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved. Councilman McGinn, you're up.
Okay, two resolutions here. The first one is a resolution authorizing special counsel to initiate an appeal of a certain justice court matter. I'll just go, I'll skip the whereases and go to the section. Section 1, all whereas, or therefore, now therefore, it is resolved as follows. Section 1, all whereas paragraphs are incorporated herein by reference as those set forth in full. Section 2, special counsel Barrett Nugent McCartney, PLLC, is authorized to file an appeal in the matter of the people of the state of New York versus Motion Z. Berkowitz under Town Monroe Justice Court docket number 220-20028 in the appellate term, 9th Judicial District, and shall be compensated for all services performed by the town as set forth in the Town Board Resolution Agreement appointing a special counsel. Section 3, the town supervisor or his designee is authorized to execute any documents necessary to carry out the provisions of this resolution. And Section 4, the resolution shall be effective immediately.
Okay.
The question is question of adoption of the foregoing resolution, which is duly put to a roll call vote, which resulted as follows, Mr. Supervisor.
Do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay, call the question.
Bingham, aye. All aye.
Cardone, aye.
Canterbury, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved.
All right, we have another legal matter. We don't have a resolution for it, so we're just going to go with a
I think Don was gonna.
So just with respect to current open legal matter where a lawsuit has been initiated against Judge McKnight in the Town of Monroe Justice Court, it is being considered to authorize special counsel Barrett Nugent McCartney, PLLC, to defend the judge in the Justice Court in the matter and to be compensated for all services performed for the town as set forth in the Town Board Resolution Agreement appointing special counsel. The town supervisor or his designee is authorized to execute any documents necessary to carry out the provisions of this resolution, and the resolution shall be effective.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, question.
Bingham, aye. All aye.
Cardone, aye.
Canterbury, aye.
Good night.
Okay. Now, do we have to do anything regarding IView, or we're good?
Well, with respect to IU, just for clarity, the court has required certain progress updates, and we have been going back and forth with the judge at regular intervals since we were brought for trial purposes to the court about 2 months ago. We've gone back and forth, we've circulated proposed terms of a resolution. The judge requested that I bring to you certain issues we've discussed in chambers, and you have directed me to follow with certain additional items. I will obtain those items, and just with respect to authority to settle, I would just say until I get you the additional details, do not consider the necessity for approving a settlement until I give you the balance of the information.
Okay. Sounds good. Anybody else have anything to offer? No? Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 8:47, 46. I will second. Call question.
Bingham, aye.
Bull eye.
Cardone, aye.
Scarecrow, aye.
Good night.
Okay, so moved.